hydroplanes have churned up the waters of Lake Washington. The Slow-Mo, the Bardol, the Thriftway, and a dozen other piston-powered thunderboats became instant icons in Seattle. Legendary names of the past like Stan Sayers, Bill Munsey, and Ted Jones laid the foundation firmly for generations to come. Fast forward more than 5 decades. The boats are bigger, faster, and feature turbine engines rocketing them faster than ever conceived. Today's racers look like pilots strapped inside a cockpit. Each will tell you they're living a lifelong dream to be like their heroes of yesteryear.
I was a little kid standing on the shores of Lake Coeur d'Alene, and I saw Randy Munson in the Bardol, and I fell in love with the sport, and I wanted to do that more than anything in the world.
They grew up always knowing there was something special about what they do.
Just to be sort of in the club where people say that, hey, these guys were the best that ever did this, you know, and now I guess I can probably say I'm in the club.
And the club is growing. There's an expanding group of young guns who are fast becoming the future of hydro racing.
These guys are people that I've grown up with my entire life. Steve David, Nate Brown, Dave Villwalk, all these guys are people I've grown up with, getting their autographs. They've been my mentors.
Today, the mentors meet their prodigies, racer against racer, in a full day of rocking and rolling on Lake Washington. It's been this way for 57 years. The greats of the past got us started. The racers of today will add to the story when we crown a new champion of the Chevrolet Cup at Seafair.
This Seafair Startup Show is brought to you by Chevrolet. See your Northwest Chevy dealer or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com. And by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of Seafair, with new nonstop service to Denver beginning November 4th.
At first light this morning, boat crews were busy making last-minute repairs and in some cases rebuilding their boats. Then they got out on the water, the fastest boat with the most experienced driver, as well as the competition that had to rebuild from an accident yesterday. It's race day in Seattle, and you have come to the perfect place for the hydroplanes and the air show and all the rest. That small city you're looking at along the south shores of Lake Washington, the Stan Sayers Pits, home today to some 35 boats all ready to get with it and win a championship. And a very pleasant good morning to you from high atop the pits along the shores of Lake Washington. Steve Rabel here for the Chevrolet Cup at Seafair. For more than 20 years, you have been watching live day-long coverage right here on KIRO 7, and today is no exception. We will be with you all day long for the great boat racing, the terrific air show, and the party, the summer celebration that is Seafair. They awoke bright and early here along the shores of Lake Washington. Lots to do. Again, boat crews getting ready. Seafair volunteers, some 2,000 strong, were out this morning to get set, as well as the boat crews, the pits. This was the place to be. A lot of excitement first thing this morning, and of course, the thousands and thousands of fans who will flock to the log boom, to the shores, to the I-90 bridge, as a matter of fact. When the Blue Angels start to fly a little bit later, it is a great party, and we're so glad you're here. Joining me in Stan Sayers Pits, high atop the pits on our broadcast tower, as he has for so many years now, hydroplane legend and member of the Motorsports Hall of Fame, a great winner here many times as well, Chip Hanauer. And Chip, Sunday at Seafair, always the biggest day in sports, in this particular sport, here in Seattle.
Well, maybe historically for the city of Seattle. I mean, this sport was here long before there were Seahawks, before there were Sonics, before there were Mariners. This was historically our only professional sport.
And a lot of great veterans have come here to race and been champions, yourself included, of course. But a lot of young guys, a lot of young guns are coming along as well. How do they handle the pressure that is Seafair Sunday?
Well, there's a lot of pressure here because this is the only race now that has television. This is the race that has the most corporate sponsors, has the most fans, and it's home for a lot of these young drivers. And there's nothing more fun than to look good in front of your old high school mates and your family.
Well, we literally have millions of people watching us, KIRO 7, and worldwide on KIROTV.com. They are in for all of you a great day of racing today, but we start out with Seafair, an exciting day yesterday.
Yeah, there was a lot of things going on, and some of these teams were up all night trying to repair damage, and here's what happened.
Well, take a look.
The Beacon Plumbing boat, defending champion, had an engine fire in Heat 1A. That after the U10 Haas Mortgage Investor boat, the After hitting the U10 Haas investment boat, the Billy Shoemaker team has had a miserable year with one problem after another. But if they can iron out their problems, they still could be the big story here today.
Well, we saw the Beacon Plumbing boat go out earlier today. KIRO 7 Sports Director Gard Swanson gives us an update now on that U-37 boat. Gard?
Hey, Rabes, let me just tell you what they found floating in Lake Washington this morning. And this is part of the back of the shoe of the Miss Beacon, and you can see they're still repairing on it. They went out for a test run today after they worked on it all night. Part of the skin came off. They said it's not structural, it's all cosmetic, so it's not a big deal. The Miss Beacon teams, they say they are ready to go. They are fast. Of course, they're the two-time defending champion. This is their driver. This is their big man, Jean Theoret. First of all, Jean, tell me a little bit about what happened yesterday in that collision.
Well, we had a mishap with the U10 boat there. We got into the corner, and the boat just did a big hop, and about 15 feet right next to him and hit the back end of his boat. And at the same time, we blew up an engine, so we had no more power to turn it. That's what happened yesterday.
So I got to ask you this. Whose fault is that when two boats collide? Is that your fault or the other driver?
The rough water, and to me, that's just racing. The fin just got unhooked, and we went sideways, and plus we lost the engine at the same time, so just part of racing.
So you put a new engine in, you got a new gearbox, you guys are ready to go.
Yeah, we're ready to roll. We went out this morning, and we're pleased with the way the boat's riding right now.
And there's something about you guys here at Seafair, two-time defending champ. You got to love your chances again.
Absolutely. I think we're still in the game. We just got to get some points, get in the final, and once we're in the final, I think we'll be in the game.
And you feel comfortable here on Lake Washington?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a rough water place, but the Beacon Plumbing boat's a good rough water boat, and this team works really hard, and we're ready to play.
Have you been watching the flags this morning? Because it's a little chilly down here in the pits, and the flags are really moving.
Yeah, the flags are moving. The wind is in a different direction this morning, so the water will probably be rougher in different spots, but it's rougher for everybody else out there, too.
You and I may be good luck because I've interviewed you twice the last couple of years, and you've won both times.
Well, let's just hope this keeps on going.
All right, good luck, Sean.
Thank you very much.
Raves, back to you.
All right, Gard, that rough water from yesterday, probably one of the things that caused this, had everybody holding their breath, including driver Chris Bertram, who was in the U9 Tri-Arc Electric. Only his 4th unlimited race, and he just cartwheeled after crossing the start-finish line to begin the race. Look at this. Scary time waiting for the rescue team and that boat to get there and pull Bertram from the escape hatch, but they did. He is okay, but will the U9 be racing today? Let's find out from our Bill Rocky, who's in the pits this morning. Bill?
Hi, Steve, with Chris Bertram. And Chris, first of all, we got to talk to you about what happened going into that first turn yesterday.
Well, as you can see, as of right now, it's actually a little breezy, but going into turn 1, 1B, lane 4, trying to pick our lane and go in there hard with everybody else, and the boat just got light, and had the wing on and the power on to keep the boat down, but it just kept going and going and going, and went point of no return and went over.
Fortunately, you were okay, but you made your crew work a little harder. How's the boat? What are the plans for today?
The crew guys are working really, really hard. We worked into the evening a little bit, working on it right now. Gearbox, engine out. Really, the boat's in pretty good shape, the hull itself. It's more cosmetic and mechanical. So taking the fuel out of or the water out of the fuel system right now, and we're going to put an engine, gearbox back in, get some tail feathers on it, canard, cowling. Hopefully we can get started, maybe make a heat or the consolation heat.
Now, one thing that happened this morning, they actually sent a diver in here to find a part that was right here by the pits. You found it, and you needed that part, didn't you?
Yeah, when you turn a hydroplane over, sometimes you have to take a lot of the assembly off so you can turn it over safely. So they had to disassemble the rudder, the skid fin, stuff like that, the exotic pieces. They lost a piece of the rudder assembly, and they found it this morning, so that's a good thing.
All right. Well, good luck. Hope you can get in there, and what a day, what a night it's been for Chris and his crew.
A very busy group. Rock, thanks very much, and we'll be back to talking to Chris as the day goes on. Now, while you were barbecuing yesterday and today, here is what you will see between your hamburgers and your hot dogs. You're watching now our startup show, of course, which leads us to the first of 17 races today. We'll start the coverage this morning with the unlimited heat from yesterday. As you hear, the lights are going out for a little practice. That starts about 10 o'clock. First live racing is at 10:40 with unlimited heat 2A. We will have, of course, complete coverage of the U.S. Navy Blue Angels action for you at about 1:30. And throughout the day, we'll bring you even more coverage of the KeyBank Air Show. That leads us to the Unlimited Light Ram Trucking Cup at about 4:15. And, of course, the Unlimited Hydroplane Chevrolet Cup Championship gets going about 4:30. So get up, get moving, get that second cup of coffee, and be prepared to stay with us all day right here on KIRO 7. We do have something a little bit different for you today. If you don't like noise, you can't be around the pits, by the way. Throughout the broadcast, we're going to pose a series of questions and invite you. There goes the boat out for a little practice this morning. We're going to pose a series of questions and invite you to text us your comments and your answers. Now, we're going to show you the answers. We're going to show those answers across the bottom of the screen at various times during the day. It is our AT&T Text-In, brought to you by AT&T. Now, here's our first question. It's pretty simple. What is your favorite hydroplane of all time? Text your answer to 21234 and give us a short reason why it's your favorite boat. Just for texting, you'll be entered to win one of 5 courtesy of AT&T. So start texting. Look for your answer coming up in just a little bit. And we are just getting started this morning, and we will be with you until at least 5 o'clock today. That's if all goes as planned. Standing by at the start-finish line, our play-by-play guys. They are both big members of hydro racing history. We'll meet the voice of unlimited hydroplane racing, our own Mike Fitzsimmons, and the great Pat O'Day when we come back for the start of the 2007 Chevrolet Cup. This is our startup show. We'll be right back. You're watching live KIRO 7 action. The gates are open. Fans from all over the Puget Sound region are heading to the shore for today's races and air show. First, they have to go through Genesee Park with the games and the food and the entertainment. The food part is what I like. We'll be out there before the day's over. There is something for everyone here at the Chevrolet Cup. And welcome back to the shores of beautiful Lake Washington. The sky is starting to clear just a bit. We're expecting a sunny, warm day here. Great conditions for racing and, of course, great conditions for a summer party. Since 1986, our KIRO 7 coverage has been exclusive Seafair coverage for you right here. 20-plus years on the job as well with us is the one and only voice of hydroplane racing here in the Pacific Northwest, and that is Mike Fitzsimmons, the man I am pleased to welcome back to the start-finish tower again. Michael, as we have talked about now all weekend long, Seafair is full of surprises from the young drivers to the veteran guys to the unpredictable water. Sunday is always a fun day here in Seattle.
You can't go racing on Lake Washington for 57 years and not expect some crazy things to happen. I just have this feeling that this is going to be a crazy race. It started out being kind of a crazy race with the first heats yesterday, as we will see, and I think that that's going to continue. And I remember things like, for example, the bonus points rule. Who would have thought that Slow Motion 4 would give up the Gold Cup and the Miss Thriftway would rescue us and then lose the Gold Cup on a 400-point rule for a couple of seconds of elapsed time? Who would have thought that another boat would ram a Coast Guard cutter or flip over the logboom or flip, as 10 years ago Mark Evans did, and then win the race? Who would imagine any of that sort of stuff? I remember 1965 when Miss Exide was the boat to beat, dominant, just like the Elam is this weekend. Began with an E, too, by the way, Exide. And guess what happened? In the final heat, out in front like everyone expected it to be, it burst into flame. And that was the end of Bill Brow's Gold Cup attempt here on Lake Washington. I think this is going to be a goofy race today. Some strange things are going to happen. Lake Washington is cooking up some surprises for us.
All right, Mike, we will be back to the start-finish tower with you throughout the day, of course, and Mike will be calling every single race you see here today. Now, we talked just a few minutes ago in the open of our program about some of these young guns. One of those youngsters is Jeff Bernard. He took Heat 1C in the FormulaBoats.com #2. Now, that was yesterday. We're going to have that for you here in just a couple of minutes. But first, here's Gard Swanson to talk to Jeff. Gard?
All right, thanks, Steve. I tell you what, this is a team that's really been hot and cold this year. Here's Jeff Bernard, the driver, right now. First, let's talk about how snake-bit you guys have been this season.
Yeah, we've had some tough luck. This last 3 races, we're trying to turn it around. We're doing a good job of doing that, too. In Tri-Cities last weekend, we had 2 first. Made the final and finished 5th. We were in there for the final for the first lap. Unfortunately, we caught a tail and moved back, but started off yesterday great, first place. Trying to make the final this year without running that provisional heat. We want to be on the front row. Hopefully we can get our best finish this year here in Seattle.
So what does your team have to do this year to really get over the edge?
After Evansville blowing over, we've had to change a lot of stuff in the boat. We were fighting front canard, electrical, all that stuff. Crew's done a great job. It took them a couple races. We have the old Bud boats, but we don't have the experience there quite yet. Guys are working their butts off. You know, we got a late start. It's not how the season, this is not how we wanted our season to go, but the Formula guys are stepping up. We're running good. We qualified third yesterday, won our heat, like I said, and I think we got a shot at trying to run real well in the final, if not win this thing.
A lot of guys are talking about Dave Villwalk's team, the Miss Beacon. They're the two-time defending champ. What about you guys? Do you like flying under the radar right now?
Yeah, actually, we like it down low for us. We always say if you're within 5 miles of Dave qualifying, then you could beat him in a heat. And we're within 5. You know, we've made good starts, and when we do run, we're in first, second. We've only had like 1/5 or 2/5, one final heat, and then one heat in the Gold Cup, and the rest have been first and third. And when we don't make a heat, it's electrical problems or something. So when we are out there running, we're doing good. We're top 3, except for one burp in the Gold Cup.
Great. Good luck today.
Thank you.
Steve, back to you.
All right, Guard, when we come back, we're going to meet the final member of our broadcast team. There you're seeing the Elam Plus, the incomparable Pat O'Day. We'll also talk about that boat, the Orange Bullet, Ballard Bullet. Bill Rocky takes us to the camp of the Elstrom Elam Plus when we come back. That is the officials tower at the start-finish line that you're looking at live here on KIRO 7. And on that tower, along with the judges, is our play-by-play team. We welcome you back to our startup show here on Seafair Sunday for the Chevrolet Cup. We're getting closer to racing time, closer to when those boats get out on the water, and closer to when we get to hear about the history of this sport and the man who has seen so many races here, so many great races, and known so many of the drivers, our legend, Pat O'Day. Pat, welcome this morning, and I know one thing you want to focus on is the second woman hydroplane driver is here today, and you know all about the first one as well.
Well, good morning, Stephen. Good morning, everybody. It was in 1981 that Brenda Jones became the first woman driver in the history of the sport right here on the lake, and she caused a sensation all around the country. Well, you know, Indy and the Indy Racing League has its Danica Patrick, and Unlimited Racing needs its Danica Patrick. And I think we have her here. You're going to see the preliminary heats here on 7, and then the final this afternoon when they're going to take the restrictor plate, so to speak, off her boat, and Kylie Perkins is going to get a chance to make her statement. Then what has to happen, of course, is one of our stuffy owners has got to unmacho himself and put her in the driver's seat of one of these Unlimiteds, because she's got the genes. Racing is her family's thing. She's got the experience, she's got the reflexes, she's got the strength, she's got the courage, and I'm a one-man rooting section here this morning saying, let's bring it on for Kylie Perkins.
Oh, gosh. Well, that recommendation ought to get the job done right there. Pat, we will be back and talking to you throughout the course of the day. Thanks, and enjoy the racing, and especially keep your eye on Kaylee today.
Proud to be part of your team, Steve.
All right, Pat. Also in the pits today, as he has been for more than 10 years, is KIRO 7 sports reporter Bill Rocky, and he is covering the east side of the pits. And, of course, that means the boat and the driver to beat here today. Bill?
Steve, it's been quite a year for Dave Villwalk. You've won every race. Coming into this, just what's that feel like that nobody's been able to beat you?
We just try to work hard every single race, so feels good. You know, it's always good to win, and you know, but I know this weekend's going to be a struggle from start to finish, so we're just going to try hard every single heat and see what happens.
That's the other side of the fence. You've struggled the last 2 years, and you've had some surprises.
Yeah, it's always a surprise here, so we'll just try our best and try to stay focused, try to play smart, and maybe it'll come to us this year.
All right, you went out and tested this morning. The boat okay?
Boat's great. Actually, the boat ran better than it has all weekend long this morning, so good timing. So we feel good about it.
All right, Dave, good luck. Dave Villwalk, the favorite today here on Lake Washington.
Heat 1A of the Chevy Cup at Seafair is brought to you by Geico. Your search for the best price on insurance is not finished until you call Geico. And is presented for Seafair by Graham Trucking. CDL Class A drivers wanted at grahamtrucking.com.
And here we go, our first heat of the day, Heat 1A. There's the Haas Mortgage Investors 2 boat. The Oh Boy Alberto, Steve David at the controls, Haas Mortgage Investors, Miss Beacon Plumbing, and Miss Lake Ridge Paving. 5 boats heading out to the course. The sun is out. The course is a little bit lumpy, it looks like. And let's talk about the drivers, Chip and Mike.
Well, the Haas Mortgage Investment, the red boat, that's Jimmy King. And Jimmy King has 14 years in hydroplane racing, but they're low on equipment in that piston boat. Oh boy, Oberto, the U6 19-year veteran, Steve David, driving for the Sausage Company. They've never won on Lake Washington.
Sean Thierret, he was the winner the last 2 years, Chevrolet Cup, but he's having a hard year this year.
The Yellow Haas Mortgage boat, of course, you just saw the rookie, 40 years old, but a rookie still in David Bryan.
David Williams. He's a museum curator, but he's realizing the dream of his life to compete in the Chevrolet Cup.
And while we don't have the fastest boats on the water this time, we do have a fast qualifier, Patrick.
Well, Jack in the Box congratulates the U10 team. Haas Mortgage with David Bryan of Mesa, Arizona, driving. Qualified at 154 miles an hour. The fastest qualifier for Heat 1A, and for the best in fast food anytime, stop at your nearby Jack in the Box.
And here they come to the line, and it's the Haas Mortgage Investments going across the line first. On the inside, the old boy, Oberto, they rock it down to the first turn. The other Haas Mortgage boat, the piston boat, is on the outside. Here they go into the lower corner, Chip.
David Bryan got the start of a lifetime there, but he was in lane 3. Look at the two boats inside of him. He just can't stay with them on the outside.
Stephen David and the old boy Oberto takes the lead off the corner, down the back chute on this first of 3 times around, but he's got some pressure coming from the outside. There's the Haas Mortgage Investment boat right up beside him. And you also see Jean Thierret in the checkerboard Beacon Plumbing boat, that boat reminiscent of the 68 Bardol. Billy Shoemaker drove a checkered boat out here that year. Off the corner now, it is Stephen David in the old boy Oberto, brand new race boat from Madison, Indiana. Look at all this traffic as they come down to the start-finish line. Jean Thierret to the outside, and beyond and the outside of him, of course, that is David Bryan.
David Bryan is doing a great job in lane 3. Remember, he's going a long way around, but this is a flat-bottom driver. He's showing some hydro drivers how it's done.
You can see a lot of rollers through that lower corner there as we get that great shot from the air. Here is Stephen David rounding off the corner now and coming down the back chute for the second of 3 times around. And he is in pursuit of him, I should say, is David Bryan, the Haas Mortgage Investors boat. That's the yellow and blue boat, the U10. And that is, of course, Kim and Debbie Gregory's boat from out of Las Vegas, Nevada. In third place, it's the other Haas boat. This is the piston boat, the Formula boats, and oh, bad luck for the Beacon Plumbing boat. The Beacon Plumbing boat, Jean Thierret, the French-Canadian out of Valleyfield, Quebec, dead in the water on the race course. That is something they did not want to see happen out here. They've had some bad mechanical luck this season so far, including a blowover. Across the line now, it's the old boy Oberto. And in second place, the Haas Mortgage in hot pursuit. David Bryan is not going to let him go, Chip.
Mike, I tell you what, that Jean Thierret situation might have been a collision. They actually might have had a collision rather than mechanical failure. We're going to have to get back on that.
We'll have to check and see exactly what happened, but in the meantime, old boy Oberto staying out of trouble and heading for a checkered flag if they can keep it together for half a lap. And now, to some extent, wisely, the rookie David Bryan has decided to slip back and just kind of let him have it. To push this real hard right now would not be wise. Into the upper corner, here comes the old boy Oberto off that turn, and the checkered flag is on display at the start-finish line for Stephen David.
That's a brand new old boy Oberto. You've seen old boy Oberto here for years and years, but that's a brand new boat this year.
It appears that we're hearing that David Bryan might have struck that boat in the corner. The other Haas boat, however, the piston boat, comes across second, and that boat, of course, is Jimmy King, a 14-year veteran. Now, the other Haas boat, the yellow and blue, may possibly have struck the checkerboard yellow boat. That's what we understand, and that's why Jean Thierret may be dead in the water.
That's really too bad, because I think David Bryan really had a great start. He was really showing a lot of savvy, I think, for a rookie driver. Now, he comes from the flat bottom ranks. These boats are a lot different than hydroplanes, so making that transition from a flat bottom to a hydro is tough, and I think he's doing a good job doing it.
Jean Thierret has climbed out of this boat, and I'm not seeing any damage, at least from this vantage point. He's checking back over the transom where, of course, he would look for the rudder or the prop and see if he's still got one there, and that's the circle that Chip just put there for you. That's where it's located.
You know, the fact that he's looking at the back of the boat tells me that maybe he wasn't struck, because usually you look at the back of the boat for a rudder or propeller prop. Let's go and see if we can see what happened here. Here's the two boats right together there. We don't see them anywhere really near each other at this point. Watch the outside boat. If he comes over and actually, yep, there it goes.
They tag
right there.
Definitely tagged. Now the question is, did the checker boat bear out, or did the other bear in? I would believe that would be the latter from what that view shows.
It looked to me like David Bryant moved in, and I don't know what he was thinking of, because it's not like he couldn't see that boat there. Sometimes you cross a guy over because he's behind you and you don't know he's there, but he could see him. So I don't really understand how that happened.
Guys, let me take a look here. Does it look like the back end of that boat might be filling with water? Could he be sinking a little? Could he be taking on water after that shot he took from David Bryant?
You know, when both boats are making so much progress forward, those collisions really aren't as bad as you would think. If one boat is stopped and another boat hits it, it does a lot of damage, but I would think it'd be minor. You can see the boat is floating pretty high here. It's floating the way it should.
You also note that there's a minor fire burning just under the back of the cowling there. You can see some flame, flickering, little smoke coming out right where the exhaust would ordinarily be. You can see it when you're down low with that shot that we saw there. You're seeing it. He's just walking up and having a look at it right now.
Now what this does is, with no points in this heat, this puts John Theoret in a really difficult situation. He's going to have to win his next two heats to get in the final. The problem is, even if it's not your fault and the guy gets penalized, you don't get any points. You know, John Theoret here, he does see fire.
He's throwing a little water
on it, yeah.
And he's got a lot of repair work to do to get that boat ready again for the next heat. So it has been already an adventure for John Theoret.
Steve David's been chasing Dave Villwalk all year, and this is the best way to get him here in Seattle. Great start.
Thank you. It's Ardo Berto's 80th birthday party, and we had to give him a very special birthday party. So Heat 1 was for Ardo Berto, and hopefully we do the same thing in the final.
This is big for Art when you guys race here, isn't it?
It really is. And the fact is, Art's always supported teams, whether you win or lose, and he still would. It's just now he's got a winner, and what a better way to say thank you to him and all of the good people at Oberto that gave us this new equipment.
Good luck in your second heat.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
All right, Bill, thanks. Here are your official results now for Heat 1A. Steve David and the Oh Boy Oberto wins it. Haas Mortgage, those two boats second and third. The Miss Lake Ridge Paving and John Theoret in the Miss Beacon Plumbing did not finish. Let's go to the presentation stage and Jeff Randall.
Hey, welcome back to the Chevrolet Cup at Seafair Award Stage. A great race in Heat 1A presented by our friends at Graham Trucking. And the winner, Steve David in the Oh Boy Oberto U6. And to present our award for this first race, here's Rob Graham from Graham Trucking.
Thank you. Yeah, I am in fact Rob Graham, representing Graham Trucking, and I get to present an award to one of my all-time favorite drivers, Steve David. Congratulations.
Rob, thank you so much. Rob, thank you so much. You've been around the sport for 25 years plus. We appreciate you. Ardo Berto, happy birthday. It's his 80th. That's your birthday present for today, or tomorrow we'll get you another one. Thank you.
Thank you to Graham Trucking. Congratulations, Oh Boy Oberto. And Stephen Chip, back to you.
Thanks very much. And, of course, that was yesterday on tape. There is the Beacon boat today, and it looks like they're ready to go racing again after those difficulties from yesterday.
Heat 1A of the Chevy Cup at Seafair has been brought to you by Geico. Your search for the best price on insurance is not finished until you call Geico.
Congratulations to Oh Boy Oberto and Stephen David, your Geico photo finish winner of Heat 1A. Your search for the best price on insurance is not finished until you call Geico.
And while we have the opening ceremonies going on here along the shores of Lake Washington, we have more racing for you. Stand by. You're watching the Chevrolet Cup at Seafair.
Heat 1B of the Chevy Cup at Seafair is brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered, and is presented for Seafair by KeyBank, proud sponsor of the KeyBank Air Show.
And it's time for the restart of Heat 1B, and here you go. Minus, of course, the Mistry Arc Electric, but the Elam Plus, Red Dot, ProCraft Windows, and MirageBoats.com are the boats that are going to be lining up here, queuing up out on a lovely day on the lake. And let's talk about these drivers, these pilots, Mike and Chip.
Without a doubt, Dave Villwalk is the boat, drives the boat to beat. Villwalk has 4 straight wins on the 2007 circuit, and he's looking for number 5 here.
Nate Brown in the Red Dot, a brand new boat. This will be the first heat of competition this boat has ever seen.
Dr. Ken Muscatel, 17-year veteran, never won on Lake Washington. His boat, let's face it, a little underpowered, but he's got a lot of savvy.
Greg Hopp, he's doing double duty again. He's running the lights, the G-boats, and the Unlimiteds.
And the boats are just getting back underway, and the Procraft Windows boat, Dr. Kent's boat, kind of stalled in the water for a moment, but now they're lining up. How about that fast boat there, Pat?
Well, Jack in the Box congratulates Ballard's Bullet. That's Elstrom's Orange Elam. He qualified at 156.5, driven by Auburn's Dave Villwalk. And for the best in fast food anytime, stop by your nearest Jack in the Box.
It looks like Greg Hopp is going to try to grab lane number 1, slowing as he goes through the arc of the upper corner there, and lane number 2 as they squeeze out. It looks like that's going to be Dr. Ken Muscatel. He's well out in front of the rest. The third lane, that'll be the Elam, and on the outside, that brand new boat of Nate Brown's, the Red Dot. Here they come to the line with lots of horsepower. Of course, the Elam can outdistance most of these boats, generally speaking, but he's backing off just a little bit so he's not too early, and they all hit the line okay. Possibility that Greg Hopp might have been a little early. We'll take a look at that. Into the first corner, though, Greg Hopp on the inside has lane advantage, but with the boat speed advantage, it's that orange one in the third lane.
If Greg Hopp didn't jump the gun, he had a perfect start, and he's going to make Villwalk work for it, but with the kind of boat speed that Villwalk's got with that Elam boat, I don't think there's anything. There it is. Look at that boat speed.
Just incredible speed. It's part of a prop program that this team has been working on. And of course, one of the reasons why Dave started outside like that is that he thinks he's going to be forced out by some of the faster boats before this Chevrolet Cup is over with this weekend, and he needs to know he can drive fast outside.
But there's really no need for Dave to go inside. He has got so much boat speed. He literally can drive that boat in lane 7 and pass most of these boats.
Off the corner, interesting. Dr. Muscatel had the lead briefly there. You see those boats side by side, but the Elam just has the superior boat speed, no question about it. Greg Hopp laying back in third place, and Nate Brown in fourth as they go through the corner again for the second time around in the lower corner.
Hey, I'm impressed with Ken Muscatel. This is the best I've seen that boat run, and I've seen him drive it a long time. He's hanging in there, inside of Dave Villwalk. He's holding his lane, and frankly, I didn't think I'd see Ken Muscatel ahead of Greg Hopp, but it looks like he's going to pull that off.
It does indeed. Up to the corner now on the top end of the race course, up by the I-90 floating bridge, around to the apex of that turn. It is Dave Villwalk, and he has just about everything he needs to win just about any place he races, and he's showing it right now. Down to get the checkered flag now, and one more lap to go for that bright orange boat. He'll only drive as fast as it takes to win, and so he's backed off just a little bit. Dr. Ken Muscatel staying right in the back end of the Rooster Tail.
I tell you, that boat you're looking at right there, that Elam boat, that's one of the most dominant boats in the history of the sport. He has won every single heat this year except for one.
Off the turn and up the back chute, Pat.
What a proud heat it is for Dr. Kent Muscatel. Has been an also-ran out here so many times, but he's competitive with Villwalk this heat, and what a neat afternoon for him.
It's a good showing for that Procraft Windows boat as Dr. Ken Muscatel keeps it respectable and stays right in the midst of the Rooster Tail behind the Elam Plus. All right, one more corner to go for Dave Villwalk. 51 victories, third the winningest driver in the history of the sport. Trying to make it 52 here on Lake Washington. He's won here before. Down to take the checkered flag, Dave Villwalk, and the Elam Plus wins the restart of Heat 1B.
No surprise with no surprise with Dave Villwalk winning that heat, but my gosh, Ken Muscatel's boat ran really well. I don't know how many years Ken has been at this, but that is the fastest and the best I've ever seen Ken run.
They ran the last lap at 140, 134, and 133 miles an hour, real close.
So those were good fast laps, and Dr. Ken Muscatel, as I say, was right up there in the back of that Rooster Tail. One misstep on the part of Dave Villwalk, and he would have had himself a win.
Dave Villwalk, a great draw for your first heat, but you still got to go out and get the job done.
Yeah, get 400 points. Got to get closer to that final. Like in the Theorette, they blew up, and another guy blew over, another guy quit. It's going to be hard to make the final here, so getting those 400 points would be great.
After what happened last year where you had all sorts of bad luck, is this kind of nice and kind of ease things?
It's a better start, that's for sure. So we'll just work on it. We got a lot of good stuff, and we'll just keep working on the boat through the day.
All right, Dave Villwalk, still, Steve, the favorite to win this race.
All right, Bill Rocky, thanks very much. Heat 1B, the official results in the book. Miss Elam Plus and Dave Villwalk win it. Procraft Windows, Mirage Boats, Miss Red Dot, and the Triarch Electric after that blowover did not start, did not finish. Let's go to Jeff Randall at the presentation stage again.
Welcome back to the Chevrolet Cup at Seafair Award Stage. Ladies and gentlemen, our Heat 1B, not an unexpected result here, presented by our friends at KeyBank. Our winner was Dave Villwalk in the U16 Elstrom Elam Plus, and Rick Worthland here from KeyBank to present that award.
Thank you. I'm Rick Worthland, the president of KeyBank. On behalf of KeyBank, I'd like to congratulate Dave Villwalk. Congratulations on winning, and the Elam team for winning Heat Unlimited number 2, 1B, sorry. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Rick. It's such a pleasure to have all the sponsors, KeyBank, and a lot of other people that make this go round. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, KeyBank, and congratulations. More racing on the way. Back to Chip and Steve.
Indeed, and this is the boat to beat. They've won every heat but one this season.
Heat 1B of the Chevy Cup at Seafair has been brought to you by AT&T. Your world delivered.
And congratulations to the Elam Plus team, the Alstrom family's entry. Your Geico photo finish winner of Heat 1B. Your search for the best price on insurance is not finished until you call Geico.
Again, that was taped yesterday. More taped highlight action when we come back.
Heat 1C of the Chevy Cup at Seafair is brought to you by KIROTV.com. Your source at work for breaking news, headlines, your pinpoint forecast, and more anytime.
And time to line them up for Heat 1C for the unlimited hydroplanes here at the Chevrolet Cup. The two FormulaBoats.com, 1 and 5, are in this race along with Miss Car Pros, and the plumbing joint boat is having a bit of a problem out there. We'll talk about that in a second as it's dead in the water. But as we watch the boats get scored up, let's go back and talk about these drivers, Chip and Mike.
Two Indiana boats, the first of these, the FormulaBoats.com, the U1 defending national champion of Flip in Detroit this year, caused it to fade from its ability to defend.
Jeff Bernard, I think one of the great young drivers coming up here. He did a great performance in Tri-Cities. He may not win the race, but I'm looking for a great driving performance this weekend.
J. Michael Kelly, now this guy is a talented fella, and he is due. This fella drives that brand new green and yellow boat.
Brian Perkins is only his second race, but it's hard to race when you don't have a prop. I'm afraid he's dead in the water with no propeller right now.
And taking a look at the plumbing joint boat, it is dead in the water. Perhaps no prop. We'll get to that in a second. But first, Pat, you've got some business to do. One of those fast qualifiers.
Well, Jack in the Box congratulates the fastest qualifier, and it's the U5, a former Budweiser. The FormulaBoats.com, driven by Tacoma's Jeff Bernard. He toured the course at just under 152 miles an hour, and he's the leader for Heat 1C. And for the best in fast food anytime, stop by your nearest Jack in the Box.
The Formula Boats are going into lane 1 and lane 3, and in between will be J. Michael Kelly as he rounds that upper corner in the Car Pros and comes down here to make a start. Half the Indiana fleet is out there right now. There are 4 boats from the Indiana area, these 2 from Decatur in lane 1 and 3. And here's J. Michael Kelly leading them across, and it's a fair start, and J. Michael Kelly got himself one dandy start, but these 2 former Budweiser boats are not going to let him run away.
These 2 boats out in front, these guys are best friends. They are some of the best boat drivers in the country, and they happen to be best friends.
Off the corner, J. Michael Kelly, but inside, you see the Formula boats coming up on him. That's the 5 boat on the inside, and that's Jeff Bernard handling that boat as he comes up the back chute now, taking the inside lane. Here we have a dandy battle coming into the upper corner now as the Formula boats number 5 and J. Michael Kelly in the Car Pros are side by side at the center of the turn.
Everybody in the Seattle Outboard Association is very proud right now. Both of these guys grew up in Seattle Outboard Association driving J-Stock hydros for kids.
Jeff Bernard down to end lap number 1, but J. Michael Kelly is going to make it a photo finish practically as they come across the line side by side. What a great opportunity for 2 old pals to hook up and go boat racing on Lake Washington.
I heard a story one Thanksgiving. They were having Thanksgiving together, and they went out, they got their outboards out, and when everybody was eating dinner, they were out racing boats on a private lake.
J. Michael might have forgotten that he had a dead-in-the-water boat in front of him because he just had to take a wide berth around the disabled plumbing joint, and that cost him some real estate, but he seems to be catching back up again.
And that's his radio man's fault. His radio man should have reminded him every lap that there's a boat there, and I think you're exactly right. He forgot it was there.
Jeff Bernard now trying to stay in command of this one. Comes off the corner in the FormulaBoats.com, the U5, a former Miss Budweiser hull. And J. Michael Kelly, as you can see him at the top of your screen there, giving him plenty of berth, but trying to stay alongside of him. But as they come across the line, it's the red boat and the green and yellow in hot pursuit. Now this time, J. Michael knows that disabled boat is out there, and he's going to try to make a move here.
You see him staying tighter. I think he's going to go inside now. He's going to go outside of him again, so that's really costing him a lot. I tell you what, these two young drivers, I think they've got more talent, natural ability than anybody I've seen in the sport in a long time. I don't think I had their natural ability when I came into the sport.
And we've got some flat-bottom guys with some tenacious abilities as well in this new crop of drivers, so it's a very healthy crop of drivers we've got. Up to the apex for the final time around. A checkered flag is going to be hanging out here on the start-finish line as Jeff Bernard comes off that corner in the FormulaBoats.com, the U5, and comes down to claim a victory in Heat 1C of this Chevrolet Cup at Seafair. But J. Michael really game to try to catch him at the back end of it, Pat, and he looked real strong.
Oh, that was a beautiful heat of racing between those two boats, and we'll look forward to seeing them tomorrow. They look great.
Jeff Bernard, great race, and you beat one of your good friends, J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah, that was fun. Wow. Get a heat draw like that doesn't happen much. 13 guys got their stuff running. They made me earn first place. Everybody kept saying what an easy heat draw we had, but it wasn't that easy. Formula guys, we needed this last week, and we had a couple of heat wins, and start off this weekend's awesome. We're going to try to make that final and not run that provisional heat this year.
Okay, thanks a lot. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
All right, Steve, back to you.
And so your official results in Heat 1C, which turned out to be a three-boat race. The FormulaBoats.com wins it, Miss Car Pros, and Formula Boats U1 finishes third. That did not start the plumbing joint. And again, we go to the presentation stage and Jeff Randall.
Hey, once again, welcome back to the Chevrolet Cup at Seafair Award Stage. We've had some great racing all day long, and Heat 1C was no exception. Our winner, Jeff Bernard, and the U5 FormulaBoats.com. And we want to thank our sponsors of the Chevrolet Cup at Seafair, Chevrolet, for a great race, and congratulations to you.
Thank you. I want to thank Seafair and Formula Boats. They've given me a great boat this week, and we're going to try to do our best to make the final without running the provisional heat, and try to go win this final heat, turn this season around for us. It's been a rocky road. Thanks, Seattle.
Jeff, congratulations. Thanks again to Chevrolet. Steve and Chip, back to you one more time.
That was yesterday. This is today. The boat, one-time Budweiser boat. Some great drivers have been in those boats. Let's see if Jeff Bernard can follow in their footsteps.
The Seafair Startup Show has been brought to you by Chevrolet. See your Northwest Chevy dealer or visit us online at northwestchevydealers.com. And by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of Seafair, with new nonstop service to Denver beginning November 4th.
Congratulations to Jeff Bernard and the FormulaBoats.com, your Geico photo finish winner of Heat 1C. Your search for the best price on insurance is not finished until you call Geico.
And those folks are settling in, and so are we. Hello there, big guy. It's time to go boat racing, live boat racing out on Lake Washington. We'll be right back.